Yeah, boy, I'm back. All right. No, I didn't leave you for a long time. I was mad sick, and I could even look at the camera without like tearing or getting all snotty. You could hear him, so kind of recovering. But besides that, I did a video prior to this, which is on my Facebook, and it was really deep and it was long. Pause. That's what he said. Yeah. So check it out. It's on the Mikey Smiles at Facebook, but I'll put the link. But it was such a great video. But I only do videos when something's kind of like irking me, or when something really just like impacts me. So this is what happened over this weekend, as well as today when I was on catching up on my shows on TV, and I'll talk about the show first. I was watching this show called The Challenge on MTV, which has to do with exes who compete with other exes. And this show probably has been going on for several seasons, whatever. But anyway, it's about this woman named Naya, is a really beautiful woman, African American, very athletic and competitive, and she was making these comments to this guy named Jordan in regards to actions that allowed her to have to compete um, with other team members, where she felt, that they had an alliance, but she felt betrayed, that he or their team went up against or positioned her, Naya, and her boyfriend to compete in another round, an elimination round, sort of a challenge. So they were up in the hotel, and she started, running her mouth and saying a lot of comments. She was reputable for having, a very sharp mouth, and they termed her Hurricane Naya. Um, and what kind of made me like was that she was just very pop, 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 pop with her comments. And the thing that she was saying to him, to this guy, she was dropping, name calling him a fag, repeatedly. And I was like, oh shoot, and MTV, they were censoring it, they were blurring it out. But basically, she was saying a lot of homophobic and homo negative comments towards him, and not only calling him that, but is the manner in which she was calling him as using as a derogatory insult, as well as pulling down his pants, um, and actually more so actually touching him and pointing to on his crotch and saying, basically that he wasn't a real man, that he had a vagina, stuff like that. Oh, I know what you do, like you suck dick or whatever, whatever, stuff like that. Um, I don't know his orientation, but his ex is a girl. I don't know what the deal is, but more so that's not important. But I want to bring that aspect and leave it here for now and discuss what happened. So I went away this weekend for my nephew's 16-year-old birthday up in Syracuse. I know my little nickname for it. And I'm at the hibachi table now with my mom, my dad, my stepdad, my cousin, my sister's ex-husband, and my nephew. And my sister, who's sitting across from me, brings up this conversation in regards to my nephew's Instagram, where it showed a picture of my nephew's peer that he had grown up with in, I guess, elementary or prior to that, who has now become a trans woman or a trans girl. So I would say they're now 16 years old. And a lot of things like, oh my God, in my mind, I'm saying, what a wonderful experience, for him to experience this circumstance, because this is like not New York City where things like this is common, but where not common, but more so exposed as opposed to a small town upstate. And my sister, says the first thing out of her mouth was this: "Did he try anything with you when you used to go over there?" And I was just like, "Listen, I can't believe this ninja." By the way, I decided to no longer use the N word. Instead, I'm gonna say ninja. So I can't believe she said that out of all the things that she could have said. And I was just like, are you serious? Because here is your brother who's an advocate, who does, my organization for empowering LGBT people, and you claim to have so much gay friends and this and that, and gay people are unicorns and skittles and all that good stuff. Um, and this is the first comment that's gonna come out of your mouth where you are in the you are allowed an opportunity to educate your son on how the progression from our norm of what our family used to think, or our culture and our society, to open acceptance of understanding what's happening in a trans person's life. More so, that bugged me is she made a comment on an Instagram picture I wrote about this young girl, a trans girl, who committed suicide in Ohio. And how does this differ now? Because it's not, you know, an externality, but it's something closer to home where it's now your son's peer. And the first thing you're gonna ask is, "Oh, did you try anything? Oh, you used to sleep over there." And I'm just like, all right. So what the subject is in the scenario is how our behavior and things that we actually say and do in our thinking, how it's one thing to say, "Oh, I have gay friends, or I have black friends, or I have this and I have that, da da da," to show us that we're a part of something and that we're not like biased. But in reality, when we're actually faced with certain scenarios and circumstances and an opportunity to show or depict, you know, just behavior, what do we end up doing, or what do we end up saying in the circumstance? Not me, yo. She, both women, Naya and my sister, both were offered an opportunity to, I guess, make better statements. Like, I understand Naya being upset, but I challenge her as an educated woman to address the issue in a way and not badgering and name calling. Like, that's just Neanderthal behavior, to get on that level. Oh, you're this and you're that. And when they're taking a stab at a gay person, and you or another person, and calling them fag as a negative connotation, like how demeaning is that to your friends, your gay friends, or the people in your lives who say accept you and like you and you're down with them, to actually use that, or even using me, the circumstance with me, your brother, to have him, have like feed into that stereotype that gay people are these um what's the word I'm looking, are, I don't know how to conjugate this word, but are debaucheratory debaucherous, r- vile people who are all sexually immoral, like child molesters. Uh-huh. So I give props to MTV for putting a disclaimer at the end of that segment to say, if you are being harassed, go to takeaction at mtv.com, and also for removing her from the show, not only because of the things she said, but her actions also, which I feel using hostile words like that is and more than enough of a reason why they should have, taken away, even if she didn't put her hands on, someone. It's just terrible that you're in 2015 and you're faced with so much exposure, and then you would resort to, such negative comments. And in the after show, she was like, "Oh, that's not my truth. I have gay friends," and the crowd was just like, "Oh yeah, blah 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 blah." But in reality, it's not what you say, homie, it's what you do, and that's so important in in our everyday actions and how we think, how we assess circumstances is actually what we're doing as people, as humanity. Now, I mean, it's not about segmenting color, sexual orientation, gender, ability, etc., 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 all the isms, all the things that, separate us, but regarding each one as a prize possession and all that good stuff. So, yeah, that's what happened, and I just wanted to like end this in a happy, snappy. Oh, see, there are progressive mediums that take over the negativity that we're facing. Well, anyways, homies, don't forget to subscribe wherever I place it. Watch the old videos. Tell your friend, tell your hookup, tell your baby daddy, tell your mama, tell your auntie. Okay. Alright. Mucho lovo. Tres. Alright, subscribe, y'all. Love you long time.